John Exon Zone. Going live now. We are live.
We made it.
We made
All right. Good to
it.
be on.
Yeah. So, welcome back to episode 241 of the Guide and Guns podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about guide guns and the responsible Christian gun owners and interest. On this week's show, we'll be talking with Brad Gill of 3030 Ministries. Welcome to the show, Brad.
Well, thank you. I appreciate y'all having us on here. Y'all met us down at the Buckarama, didn't you?
I did. I was down there. Troy actually is broadcasting out. He's in Kentucky,
Okay.
and I'm a Kentucky boy too, but I live in Georgia now, so I was down there.
I got you. You came by our booth. I actually wasn't at the booth, but yeah, they said you came by, and appreciate you reaching out to us for sure.
Oh yeah, man, it was awesome. I was glad to do it, and I tell you, your crew that you had down there were a bunch of good folks. I was proud to be on there with them.
Yeah, they are, no doubt, man. God has sent some great volunteers to this organization for sure. So very blessed because of that, Doug.
Indeed.
Go ahead and give us the background, Brad. What's the origin or the what was the thing that got this ministry started? What's your guys' goals and what's the focus of your ministry?
Absolutely. Man, I'm one of those that I didn't get saved until later in life. I was it was 2008, so that would put me at 34 years old. And man, when Jesus took over, he changed me, absolutely changed me, and led me to begin. I'd always loved hunting and fishing, always loved taking kids hunting and fishing, and he pretty soon after I was saved, he led me to begin an outdoor ministry in my church, and I attend Crossroads Baptist Church in Eatonton, Georgia, and just really kind of showed me the ins and outs of taking kids hunting and putting on events and all that. And that rolled into 3030 Ministries, to where, God said, I've showed you a model how to successfully run an outdoor ministry program where you use hunting and fishing as a platform to bring people in and share the gospel with them. Now go take that and go offer it, to the world, or wherever that may be. And so it started in 2011, and basically, it's a simple ministry in the fact that it very simply uses hunting and fishing as an opportunity or a time, and the camps are usually run on the weekend, to, like I said, bring kids, and each kid comes with an adult chaperone, so we're able to minister to them. But we take them on some really awesome hunting and fishing weekend events. But the whole purpose and the whole point of bringing them in is to share the gospel. That's it. And while, yes, we enjoy those first deer moments, and some nice deer have been taken, and turkeys and hogs, and we take kids shark fishing, and we do all kinds of cool things. The gospel is first and foremost in this ministry. And, to date, we have done camps in Georgia. Georgia is mostly where we do our camps. We've done camps in Alabama, and we have done camps in Texas. We had a partner over there that we did a couple camps in Texas over there. And then this rabbit hunting season, God opened the door for us to go to South Carolina to do a rabbit camp, and then also to go to Kansas in March to do a rabbit hunting camp as well. And he's also opened the door for us to go. About 3 weeks ago, we just got back from sending a team over to South Africa, and we sent 3 guys over there, myself included, and we had partnered with a South African hunting outfitter over there who contacted us and said, "Hey, man, we'd like to use our business as a way to give God glory." And so we went over there, and we didn't take kids from the United States. We just went in there, partnered with them. They got the kids, and they brought the kids to us, and we took care of them, fed them, put them up, allowed them to hunt, and of course shared the gospel with them as well. So usually these camps are, right now we're sitting here, we have just completed 110 camps. And I always share with folks, just to let you know that God's right here in the midst of this ministry is we have seen 85 known salvations to date. And that's, again, just to say, man, God's all over this thing. And what do camps look like? Camps generally start on a Friday afternoon. The kids come in. They, like I said, they bring a parent. We house them for the weekend. We feed them for the weekend. We hunt them for the weekend. The weekends are free. We don't charge anybody to come. And the camps are generally just filled by random draw. People go to our website, they apply, and then 3 to 4 weeks out in front of that camp, we'll just draw them at random and get them to the camps. And most of our camp partners, we get that question a lot. How do you get to get these places and all this? And I love to share the story because it's such a God story. We to date we have not solicited a single camp. We hadn't had to, when God led me to begin this ministry in 2011, I thought I was going to go up and knock on somebody's doors and be like, hey, can you help me? God let me start this ministry, but it just hadn't worked out that way. God has just sent the people, and people have contacted us, saying, and usually these are Christians, because they see what we do and they say, man, and we have a lot of partners with churches. These are good old boys who love Jesus. They can't sing, they can't preach, they can't teach Sunday school, but man, they love to hunt and fish. And they said, man, we could host a youth deer camp or turkey camp or whatever. We do all kinds of things. If it's hunting and fishing, and God opens the door for us, we'll go. Like I said, we've done shark camp, crab and fishing camp, catfish. We do a bear hunt in the mountains. But those simple people who just love Jesus and can't operate as a preacher or Sunday school teacher or whatever, they say, man, I can serve my Lord by hosting a youth camp and partnering with y'all. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's a middle and high school ministry. It's 6th to 12th grade is what we do, and I tell you, it's neat. You had mentioned the volunteers at the Buckarama,
Mm-hmm.
and those are some of the guys. I don't know who you saw, but that's some of the guys that were working that. Some of them are camp hosts. Who host a camp at their home church or their home hunting club or whatever the case may be. And then some of them are just volunteers where they just go to the different camps, because we're going to end this year, I think, at 23 camps this year. And that is just crazy awesome that God's doing that. But as y'all know, I mean, if we're going to operate, and we're all volunteers, it's all a volunteer organization, God's going to have to send some great godly people to run up and down the road.
So how do you guys do it as far as when you get the camp going, say if you're hunting in Alabama or Georgia or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And you got chaperones that go out with you, do they hunt as well to watch the kids, or how does it work?
Generally, and each camp's different, but generally the way that works, let's just take a deer hunt, because the deer hunt is kind of the most common one that we do. Okay, we'll have somebody get in touch with us, and this will be a host. We'll call them a host, and it could be a host is generally a group. Let's just say it's fill in the blank church in outside of Montgomery or whatever it may be. So we've got a facility, we go. Okay. Outside of that church, we've got people who have donated properties. Okay. And those landowners are usually there at the camp. And this is just generally speaking, a landowner would meet the kid and the parent, and the kid and the parent would get dropped off at the deer stand. And the landowner would say, dropping you off, see you at 10, 11 o'clock, whatever the time is, and then they'll come back. But as far as who's actually doing the shooting, man, we just and it's a little bit different on some of them, maybe our fishing trips, but like on the deer hunts, man, these are kids only. We just let the kids shoot. So, but we do love being able to allow the dad or the mom or the adult chaperone to go sit in the woods with that kid,
Sure.
because that's some great bonding time as well. But we do have some camps that are they're highly managed properties, and they may be for like coal bucks or does or whatever. And in that case, a guide will go sit in the stand with them, but the guide's still sitting in the stand with father and son or father and daughter, whatever the case may be. So, But that's generally how that works. Now, turkey hunting, we generally, the way our turkey hunts have just worked. We've had guys who love to. If you turkey hunt, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I
You
do.
you love to call in turkeys, right? So you as a turkey hunter, you're like, man, I want to take a father and son out for the weekend and see if I can get this kid a turkey. So generally, in fact, we've never had a turkey hunt where it was just turning kids and their father and son loose. We always had the guides who stepped forward and said, man, we're on board with that. We want to take them, so. But they do vary. And when we go crappie fishing or something like that, the parents get to fish, and that's fine. But generally on our hunts, man, we like to keep those kids behind the trigger.
Yeah, we I actually guide duck hunts in Arkansas. So,
Oh wow.
and I think I've been doing it. This will be my 4th year, and I love it when we got kids in the blind. That they just come out and just enjoy hunting, and I love putting ducks in the hole so they can shoot at them. And a lot of times that's what we do is shoot at them. But
Yeah.
As a guide, after they've had a few flocks come in and miss,
Mm-hmm.
me and my buddies start shooting with them.
Right.
And it doesn't matter to me who kills it. One of them kids shot it.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
nice shot.
Right. Man, it's special. And this is all a side bonus to what we do, which is share the gospel. But man, we love to take kids hunting and fishing because it's like, man, we get to enjoy this too. There's nothing like seeing a kid come into camp, which we've never done a duck hunt, and the Lord's just never opened that door. But there's nothing like seeing that kid come in to camp with that first deer, and they're so jacked up, man. Some of them are just wanting to put blood on themselves, on their face, and it's just like, yes, this is good. Thank you, God, for letting us serve in a hunting ministry. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it was funny. Troy and I were talking before you got on. I was going over the brochure, and just giving him a little background on, what you guys do. And it said, I think in the brochure it even said you hadn't had the opportunity for bass fishing trip or duck hunting, and there was something
Shark.
else. Yeah, shark hunting, and it said we just hadn't had the ministry open. Troy's like, well, you got 2 of the 3 right there for him.
Hey, brother, Lord opens the door. Let's go.
I know. I'm now. How do you do it as far as do you stay at an outfitter's place that has lodging and everything there, or do you camp? Or
That's a great question because again, the camps, they're across the board. A lot of times when we partner with churches, and listen, we do stay at some lodges, some nice places, but when we partner with churches, most of the time we are in Sunday school rooms where I do all the communication with the parents beforehand and make sure they have the proper stuff to come. Man, they're on air mattresses and sleeping bags in Sunday school rooms, and that's fine. Hey, as long as they're warm and dry, man, I'm good. I'm good. It does not have to be a fancy accommodations. We do have one church that still their hearts, they just kind of like to do the primitive thing with the tents, and it's in the spring and it's a turkey camp, and that's fine. But we always make provisions for that,
right.
in case we don't want them out in the rain on a cold, March or April day either. So we've got a backup plan for that. But so we'll do anything. We just want to make sure, especially now when we deal with girls. And we always cater to the girls, make sure they got their extra private stuff and a bathroom for themselves and all that stuff. So there's things like that we work out. But our 3 biggest hurdles in starting a camp with anybody is number 1, the hunting property or where we're fishing, and the partners bring that to us. We're just a platform that allows folks like yourself to be able to use hunting and fishing to do ministry if they can't do that on their own. So the hunting and fishing properties, the lodging, what's that look like? And I think they'll describe that. That can be across the board. And then the food and the food's a big deal. Now we do small camps. We'll do anywhere from a minimum of 4 kids. That bear camp we do gets up to about 12, and that's really kind of top end of what we do. But so in general, kind of small camps, but it's still, I always say food is a ministry in itself because from the going and buying for a crowd of 30 to 40 or whatever, and then actually cooking it and then preparing it and doing that all weekend, that is a chore. And as a ministry, I don't mind writing a check for food. Now, as it turns out, man, when we partner with a lot of people, they'll say, "Man, we'll provide it all," and that's a blessing on the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll buy the food, but we got to have a food plan in place that says, "Hey, me and my crew, we're gonna handle all the food for you." So those are the three big things.
So, is this part of a larger ministry? Are you guys just the originators of this 3030 Ministries? Is it in other states, or are you just the only chapter?
We are the only. We are a 501c nonprofit organization, and we are standalone. In other
Okay.
words, we just started this, and as far as chapters go, I mean, you could technically, we don't have chapters. We don't call it chapters, but we have. I'd have to look and count, but we probably got 20, a little bit more than 20 different groups. This Baptist church, this hunting club, this crew,
Mm-hmm.
the crew in South Africa, the crew in Kansas that's going to host a rabbit hunt. We probably got 20 different chapters, if you wanted to call them that, but we just call it all 3030 Ministries and leave it at that. So.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's a great opportunity that it could be utilized in any part of the country.
Yes.
But you guys have fleshed it all out. Have you thought about sort of putting that out there as like the skeleton of it to share with other people might be interested, like in Washington State or
Oh,
in
absolutely.
Colorado, things like that. I didn't know if you guys had looked that far out yet, or you.
We have, and it's just like we're going to Kansas. I mean, here's the thing: the way the ministry is set up, we can get a call from Kansas, which we did, and begin a relationship with them, or get a call from South Africa and begin a relationship with them, and then we can go over there and show them how to do ministry and do that. So yeah, we could get a call from Washington State, and as far as like proactively, I mean, we do. We do your general marketing. We don't necessarily go after, man, we need to get a group in the Midwest. Let's really do some hardcore advertising out there. We just do our emails or social media. We're starting a podcast. We're just kind of obedient to what God sends us,
Right.
without necessarily trying to get in front of God. And that's I've been guilty of that in the past, wanting to get in front of God, but so far we've just been obedient with the doors that He's opened. Kansas, South Africa, those South Carolina coming up. So yeah, that I don't know if this answers your question or not, but we want to keep being obedient. If God sends the partners, that we go through that and answer that call. So absolutely.
Now, where are you based out of, Brad?
We're actually in Putnam County, Georgia.
Putnam County.
Yes, Eatonton, dairy capital of the world.
It is. It is.
Yes, we love it up here. Love it up here.
Because I'm down in Warner Robins, I'll actually live in Macon now, but
we have a camp in Perry, Georgia, in December in Houston County, right there below.
That's right there where I'm at.
Okay, you need to come visit with us and just kind of see what we do.
I would love to.
Absolutely, that's with Dr. Don Spillers. I don't know if you know him.
Everybody knows Dr. Don Spillers if you've had braces.
Yes, that is the same Don Spillers. He
owes me a hunt anyway for all the braces he's put on my kids.
Probably more than one hunt, So it's with Don. Don called me one day. Did not know him. He had heard from a friend of a friend, kind of a thing about this ministry, and God had been dealing with his heart about having some folks out and doing ministry. Just didn't know where to turn, So Don just called me. It's been 5 or 6 years ago now, and just started picking my brain. What would this look like if y'all come out and help me host a ministry event and this, that, and the other? And so one thing led to another, and now he's doing 2 a year, and he does a deer hunt in the fall and a turkey hunt in the spring. It's worked really, really well. We've seen some salvations down there, so there's been some fruit from his obedience and answering that call.
Well, you got all my info. I would love to help out. I mean, if I can, because you can ask Troy or any of our listeners. I'm big time hunting, fishing, and I might even be able to work you some nighttime hog hunts out. We hunt.
Oh
we hunt
man, that would be fun.
We hunt with night vision thermals.
Oh wow, those kids would love that.
Yes, they would.
Good.
Well, if you keep them awake.
Sure. Well, it's
But
like I tell everybody, I said, if God stands on your heart about doing a ministry event with us through that, man, let me know. That's what we do.
and see, it's cool too, because I know from guiding kids out in Arkansas duck hunting and stuff that come out there, it's easy to hunt a kid someplace because most time if they're under 16 years old, they don't have to have a hunting license in that state. So
Oh, yes.
so they can go in and hunt, and it's not a big deal. So
Sure.
it works out because I have a lot of kids that came down to Georgia or to Arkansas and and hunted with us, and anybody that's 15 or younger that does not need a hunting license, as long as they got an adult with them, that's hunting, then
Right.
we don't charge for kids.
Sure.
I like taking kids,
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I always say adults are pretty boring,
Yeah,
Kids are fun.
yeah, they are fun. They get into all kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So,
Well, how can our listeners get involved or get in touch with you? Social media, websites, what you got to tell us about?
absolutely. We're on the big three social media: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can just search for 30-30 Ministries, and we'll pop up. And our website, and we've got some signups for camps going on right now. I think there's 12 deer camps on there right now that kids can sign up for. We're fixing to get into our busy season. And our website's very simple. There's no dashes in it. It's just 3030ministries.org, 3030ministries.org. So, yeah, absolutely. Go in there. If you got a kid 6th to 12th grade, and no strings attached kind of deal. Man, it's funny. We've had parents come into our camps, and by Sunday, I mean, they're loosened up and relaxed by then, and they say, man, we were kind of looking for the string attached. Y'all gonna ask for money, right? It's like, man, no. All we want to do is love on people. Just let them have a great time with their kid and share the gospel with them. That's literally, and they look at you like, huh, okay. I mean, so no strings attached. We just want to love on people, man. That's all we want to do.
That's like I do a daily devotional, and I get it emailed to me, and it's called the Sportsman's Daily Devotional. Yeah. And I like it. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not.
I have seen it.
I love it because they relate the gospel into hunting situations or fishing or whatever, going out with your grandpa. But it makes it awesome. I share it a lot to folks.
Right. Yeah. That's been a few years since I've seen. That's a great daily devotion right there.
It is.
As a hunter, you can relate to that. Mm-hmm. Good stuff for sure. So.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on. Any other things you want to share with us while you're here?
No, I just, who knows who's listening? Y'all, I looked at y'all's podcast, man. Y'all got an awesome show. Y'all got a good thing going on. I appreciate y'all doing what you're doing. Where'd you say you got y'all? Y'all are on YouTube tonight?
Yeah, we're live right now, actually. So,
wow, that's fantastic, man. You guys got a great thing going on, and I appreciate what you do, and appreciate you coming to the Buck Rum and looking us up and just giving us opportunity. And this is the door. It's just like we share anytime God gives us an opportunity to share. We want to go through that door because we figure God, wants to do something through that. And hey, I just appreciate the opportunity to come on and just share what we do.
I hate to say it, I cannot remember the guy's name I was talking to. And I probably talked to him 30 minutes or so, standing there talking. It was Sean or
Shannon.
There you go. I knew it started with Shannon. I apologize that I did not remember your name, but I'm horrible with names until I get to know you a little bit.
You did pretty good. That's impressive. I can't remember. Yeah, I got to make notes, man. So,
but he was very impressed when I walked up. He's like, "Hey, do you got a teenager that wants to go hunting?" I'm like, "Nope, all mine are grown." He said, "Do you know a teenager that wants to go hunting?" I'm like, "What's the catch?" he started telling me about it, and he had a couple young ladies there with him, and they're just talking about the ministry and stuff. I was like, I think this is something that Troy and I would like to promote on the show because this is right up our alley. This is what we do.
Yeah, y'all are awesome just to do that and give Ministries a platform, man. So use your talents to. Man, give God the glory, man. Spread the word.
Yep, we do a little bit more of not the hunting aspect, but we like to share the shooting sports.
Absolutely,
with kids and stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So I will say this: I'm also an editor for Georgia Outdoor News Magazine.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So if you need anything on our end, please let me know. whatever, just you reach out to me that way as well.
I will, and like I said, keep me in mind if on some of your camps, especially the one down in Perry, depending on the dates, But I'd love to help out.
Yep, I'm going to email you the dates to that, and so you can go ahead and put it on your calendar. I mean, I know you probably won't know until you get a little closer, but I'd love to just sit down and fellowship with you. And we always have the coffee rolling good at that camp, and so we'll sit down, drink some coffee, and eat some good food, and wait on the kids to come back in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, sounds good, and I can cook too. So
really, well, Don may really love that. So I'll let him know one of his former clients would like to come help out a little bit. So
absolutely.
So,
Don actually shot a buck in Houston County last year in archery season that was ginormous. I mean,
yep, skyscraper. Yeah,
that was a big.
Yeah, well, I was going to say actually for GON, I actually wrote the story for that, and it's
Oh, you wrote the story?
I did.
It was very good.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, yeah, that deer was skyscraper, and I actually got to hold that deer in my hands. Was in the truck buck contest, and it was just like, really, with a bow? I mean, it's skyscraper because it's so tall, it's golly. But they do it upright, and that's one of our trophy managed places where Don and he'll do 5 kids, and they go out with the kids, but the parents get to go as well. So.
Don does a lot of hunting down there with Scott Westmoreland.
Scott's a great friend of mine as well.
I work at a hospital here, and he's one of our board members. So,
okay.
So I know him pretty well. He was sitting in my office. I was fixing a new laptop for him the other day, and he had his phone out the whole time. He said, "Look at that one. Look at that one." And then I pulled mine out. I'm like, "Look at that one."
Yeah, Scott. He's always got that phone. Let me show you this one. Let me show you that one. He is a trip. So
he's a good guy.
Yeah, you absolutely. You need to ask Scott about his 30-30 Ministries experiences and some of the kids he's gotten to take, and he's just been really blessed with some of the stories he could tell you from those camps, and connecting with those kids and parents have been really good. So I give y'all something to talk about next time you see him.
It will, man. That's awesome.
Good deal. Well, I will look forward to seeing you in December at that deer camp, bud.
It sounds good. Like I said, hit me up. You got my email address and you got my phone number, so you can text me or whatever.
Absolutely, Doug. I really do appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate what you guys are doing with the ministry, and we appreciate you coming on and sharing it with us tonight.
Absolutely, Troy. I appreciate y'all. Okay.
We appreciate you coming on. Good ministry you got.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Good talking to you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right, good stuff there.
Yeah, that's cool. Learn all kinds of things.
I know, right?
So the takeaway from that for our listeners is there's a good opportunity for you to, in your own community, whatever you got to hunt or fish or chase down with a bow and axe or whatever.
Yeah.
Grab some kids up and make a ministry of it. And sounds like Brad be open to people, hitting him up and asking him how they do it and how to make it work. You still there?
Yeah, I am.
I never know with Jitsi, man. I don't know if it's. I took my camera down so you guys would show up, because otherwise I just dominate the screen. So we went ahead and had Brad on up front. We're a little bit out of our sequence here for our normal listeners. But let's see. So, bandwidth sponsor, Farms Radio Network. We'll thank them for sponsoring the show and putting all that data out there on the interwebs for you guys to download at your convenience. Also,
Crossbreed holsters. Hey, you've heard us talk about it. If you are carrying a gun, got one next to your bed, your wife carries one in her purse, Crossbreed makes a holster for you. They got a line of all kind of stuff out there. Anything you want to carry, go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Carry the cross.
Carrying the cross right now. How about your guide and gun activities this week, Doug? What have you been up to?
Well, let me switch over to notes here. I had a pretty good week. Right now, I'm actually trying to pack for the Bulwarks class. We're leaving tomorrow after work, heading up to Martin, Georgia, and I am so looking forward to this. It's going to be so much fun. And I've been talking to Jesse some, and he sent me out a new updated list of some stuff I need to bring. And so I got stuff on the kitchen table. I got it in here in the bedroom laid out, trying to get stuff packed. My wife's
Make
like,
you
"Is that all the
make you
clothes you're taking?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got to make room for all these guns and stuff."
make you a checklist because I thought I had everything, and I got there and I had one of some things I meant to have two of, and things like that because I didn't put a checklist.
Right. Man, I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. On the God side, let's see what have I done. Been doing my Sportsman Daily Devotional, which we talked to Brad a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Church on Sunday. My son-in-law Alex got baptized Sunday,
That was
so
awesome. I saw
I,
that video you posted.
it was. It was pretty awesome, man. Anytime you see somebody get baptized and show their profession of the faith in their faith and their trust in Jesus, I mean, it's an awesome thing, you know. And it was funny. I kind of laughed at him because our new youth pastor was the one that baptized him because they swapped out, and our youth pastor ain't real tall. He's maybe, you know, 5'5", 5'6". He's not. His name's Blake. He's not real big,
Mhm.
and Alex is like 6'2". So when he got in the tank, you know, you can just see Blake looking up at him like, mm. And I told Alex went back there. I said, "Hey, bend at the knees, brother. Bend at the knees." And he did, and um, it was awesome. I'm enjoying seeing the change in that young man since he got saved. So it's awesome. Let's see, what else have I done? Bulwarks class. I've been shooting my bow, and actually got to talk to one of our listeners last night. He had been Facebooking me or face messaging me. I'd posted a picture of a target that I shot, and I had my arrows were on there and they were grouped up, you know, pretty good. And he started messaging me a little bit, and he just bought his first bow and learning how to shoot. And so he was asking me a few questions and stuff. So I sent him when I realized he was one of our listeners on the show and a friend of mine on Facebook. I sent him my phone number. I was like, "Hey," I said, "if you get a minute, you want to ask some questions or you're not clear," I said, "call me." So he FaceTimed me last night and we had a good chat. His name's Jeff. And Jeff, I would say your last name, but I'm not going to because one, I would butcher it severely. But he is out in Iowa. Yeah, Iowa. And so we had a good time talking last night. So it was nice not meeting him, but you know, you always feel like you meet somebody if you're on doing FaceTime and you're chatting with video chat. So
Mhm.
it's like you're standing right there talking to him, and his kids got on there with him for a minute, and they got to meet Ella and Eli and see some deer heads on the wall. So it was cool. We were having a good time, but that was awesome. Like I said, hey, Bulwarks, man, if there's still time, I think you can still sign up and get on, and hopefully we're going to have Jesse on the show. Hopefully we were going to try doing it tonight, but I didn't have a chance between Brad. You know, I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. So after I get done shooting this weekend, we'll have him on next week and we'll talk. And hopefully we got a little announcement that we're going to get to make. And so that will be awesome. I told him, I said, I don't care what I do in this class. I want to walk away with a coin because Troy got a coin. I gotta shoot good enough to get a coin. So I'm going to make sure I take a pen with me that when we go down to look at our targets, if I need to make a few extra holes in it, you know, it's like, Doug, somebody's shooting your target, man. There's 200 holes in this thing.
If there's over 20 rounds in there, you only get 20 shots, Doug.
20.
20.
How'd you score a 90? Oh, just the way they score it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
5 points per round. So
5 points around.
if you get in the zone, I think it's like 3 points or something if you get outside the zone. I don't know. He explains it on the Bulwark site. So on the Bulwark's Facebook page or something, he put it out how it works and the target and all that. So
Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think I am going to start out with the axe.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to shoot it because it just shoots so nice. And then I'm taking another one for a backup just in case I have problems. And I'm going to shoot my Glock 19, and I got my Glock 17 that I'm I'm going to take with me also. And I was going to show you. And that's the holster I'm going to carry in. That's a crossbreed drop slide. So I'm going to carry both in that when I'm shooting, and goes on the belt. And I figure it might just
How you gonna carry your mags?
in my I got mag pockets or for pistol mags uh, in my vest or my chest rig.
How many rifle mags you got in
I
your
got
bag?
I got 6 rifle mags and I got 3 pistol mags.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need at least 5, and sometimes 6 on some of those.
Pistol
Yeah,
mags?
on rifle mags.
Oh, no, I got 6. I got 6 rifle mags.
It depends on the how many people you got on the line at a time.
Uh,
They'll split you into 2 different groups,
gotcha.
and then the ones that are shooting, the other ones are reloading. So they keep rotating you back and forth. So you'll shoot, go back, reload while the other team goes and shoots, and then they'll set the next series, and then they'll work you through that.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. I was trying to think earlier because Sean and I were talking because Sean's going up and
Yep.
shooting with us, and also Steve Stone's going to be there.
Yep.
The ones that I know of. But do you remember up there? There were so many canopies and tents and stuff up there at Red Hill Range. Do you remember if they had an actual overhang with tables and stuff under it?
I don't think there's anything fixed. I think they got the. I think everything was just pop ups.
Okay.
Now there is a tower that I think is fixed,
Well, the tower was fixed,
but I
but
don't think you shoot under it.
I couldn't remember if they had a covered line that behind, but I couldn't remember if it was that or if it was just all tents and canopies and stuff down through there that
It's
they
just
had up.
on the range. There's tents and canopies. Over to the side, there's some storage and stuff over there that's fixed and bathrooms and things like that. But I believe he said he had it set up that way so he could go all the way to the back of that field and shoot however many yards it was, 600 yards or something. So,
But did Eric set those tents and stuff up for the shoot up there, or did the
yeah.
range have those?
Well, it's a combination. I think it was a combination, but most everybody that was everybody came and set up their own tent. They were either renting it from Eric or they were bringing it with them. So they would bring their tents and set them up and set up their own tables and stuff like that. Or Eric was providing them for a fee, I believe. Because I told him I was going to bring a tent, and he said he said I could, and if there was room, it would be no problem. But I got there was a bunch of tents already set up, so I think Eric set up most of those and just rented them out to the guys that just drove in with boxes and crates of guns and ammo, and like all the ammo gets shipped in like a week or two in advance to the range. They come in on semi truckloads, pallets of bullets,
Right.
um, so that they're not transporting all that ammo.
So I'm actually going to take my pop up for this training class this weekend because, like I said, I couldn't remember what was there. So I'm going to take my pop up, and I think I got a fold up table that I take with me. You know, one of them plastic ones that folds down and makes it small, and then you can set it up, and you just got a table you can put your stuff on. So I think I'm going to take that little table and the pop up and a couple chairs with me and that kind of stuff just in case.
Makes sense.
And I'm going to take the Yeti full of Gatorades and waters and all that stuff because we're probably going to be dying.
Oh no, that hurricane will be blowing in. It'll be a nice cool breeze.
I hope you're right.
Gustavo's getting ready for it down there. He just said he's getting ready for the hurricane.
Oh, did he?
Yep. Let's see. Is that all your gun stuff?
That was me, man.
Switch over the notes. So if I'm making weird faces, y'all just hang with me.
I just wicked up.
On the God side, I got to worship. Got to go to church and worship. I did do security in the second part of this. I guess we call it small groups. I went ahead and went back into security. Uh, didn't do a whole lot more on the God side that I can think of this week. Just other reading my devotional, studying the Bible, and then on the gun side, just EDC. I went to Louisville like 3 days this week, like 4 days last week, and 3 days, 2 or 3 days this week, taking parents to doctors and stuff like that. So, when I was in Louisville, most of the time I was wearing my Glock 30S and just cargo shorts and a shirt just hanging over, covered up, and then just cleaned on the Falcor. I've been shooting it some, so I cleaned it up and just cleaned up the Glock 30S from all the dead skin, dust, grass from mowing yards, and been working on the Benelli M4 on the gun side. I'm getting it ready for the class coming up in November. I put in extension tube on it. It comes with like a 5 round tube. So I'm putting on the, I think it's 8+1, so 8 in the tube and plus one tube. And then I've got a Mesa Tactical stock for it. And I'm looking for a shell carrier, shell saddle, whatever you call it, on the side for extra rounds. And I've got a sling that's bandolero for shotgun shells. I don't know if I'm gonna use that or not. It might get pretty heavy if I fill that thing up with shotgun shells, and I don't know how much mobility or how fast it is to unload to load from one of those. So I'm still researching that. I installed my Yaesu FTM 400 XDR in the truck. Yeah, so I can reach out and touch someone now. 50 watts of power, and then I put on a new antenna too. It's a 6 foot tall antenna on top of my truck, so it's up there about 11 foot. No, it's more than that. Six on top of my truck's about 6'8", so it's about almost 12 feet up there, and it's got a lot of gain. I mean, it's like 7 times gain on 440, and it's uh, almost 3 times the gain on a 2 meter. So for you, got a new subscriber, Brad. Just popped up.
What's that?
I said, Brad just subscribed to YouTube. So good.
Oh, nice, good.
So Brad might be out there listening. Let's see. So yeah, so for you ham guys, I got that done, and then I got the RT Systems FTM 400 programming in. I program my radio for all the repeaters in Kentucky, pretty much in the central corridor where I run up and down. I think I put like 30 miles out, so everywhere I could pretty much hit with my rig. And then I've ordered the software for the FT3D R. FT3D. I think R is in United States and E is in Europe. Uh, ordered RT Systems programs for that, but it's still like another week or two out. So I've been programming by hand, which is not as easy when you got a whole lot of repeaters to program in. So enough of that for you guys that aren't interested in ham radio. EDC, I'm carrying the Glock 30S and in the Crossbreed Super Tuck, and got the usual suspects on. I usually talk about the Stood of the Gun Enhanced Lifesaver pack. I got a soft T tourniquet in my right pocket. I got my 82 Defender flashlight, and I've got the Microtech SOCOM Elite Auto. Always I have the little Olight S1R baton for just normal light use. What you got on you, Doug?
Well, tonight, because I've been packing, get ready for this class, tonight I have the Glock 17, and I've tore my house apart looking for my spare mags for this one, and I cannot find them anywhere. I know they're in a box in the closet in here somewhere.
Probably an ammo box of 9mm. That's what I usually do.
What's that?
They probably an ammo can full of 9mm. That's what I usually do. Throw.
Well, I looked there too, and I can't. I didn't find them. I found 45 mags. I found 1911 mags, but I cannot find those. So hopefully my wife ain't watching. Yeah, she is. I'm gonna be going down to the store tomorrow morning and buying some Glock 17 mags, because the 19s won't fit in there. And I don't know what Eric and them would say if I showed up with these 30 round mags that I got for my Kel-Tec.
They'll get in the way.
And what's that?
They'll get in the way.
I'm just talking about having it for spare mags stuck in my chest rig.
Yeah, I'm just saying when you go to try to manipulate stuff and you get that rifle and crush your chest, they're gonna get in the way.
No, I go. Well, see, I could carry those in my back pockets because
Yeah.
they stick up high enough. But I'll probably go get me a couple mags. And I'm telling you, I swear, this Glock 17 that I picked up that I got, I think it was meant for a California person to have because it came with 2 single stack 10 round mags.
Oh my gosh!
I know. Because I was looking at them, I'm like, what is this? I said, why
Or
can't I get no more rounds in there?
back in the Clinton gun ban, maybe it was.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I don't know. I don't know if it was because it was a blue label gun, but I don't know if it was should have been blue label destined for California and they shipped it by mistake here. But I don't know. I gotta go get some. I gotta go get some bigger mags. Anyway.
I always take a paint marker and write my initials on the mags.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I ain't got my camera up, so you can't see it. Turn my camera back on. But I always take any mags I'm going to go to some kind of event. I just write my initials with that's this white paint pen,
Mm-hmm.
or I've got yellow paint pens. I've got all kinds of different color pens, but I do that with my AR mags. I do it with my Glock mags because most likely a lot of people are all going to be shooting ARs, and if you got Magpul mags or this, if that's what you're running, and yours gets dropped on the ground and theirs get dropped on the ground, they're like, "Whose mag is this?" That way, if you just have some paint on there just to mark it somehow, you know it's yours. I
Well,
always usually
I know
write.
3 of the ones I'm going to be able to tell which ones are mine because they got God and Guns podcast on them.
That'll work. And another thing I do is I write a number. So I'll have my initials and then like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, however many mags I got. And so if I have a mag that's consistently causing problems, I'll look and say, oh, it's that number 3 mag. And so I go and take the springs out, put new springs, to put a new follower or something like that. So when you have a consistent problem, that way you can diagnose which mag it is that's causing the problem. And that's not my. I've stole that from other people, so it's not like I came up with it. But that's a good way that you keep your mags that are yours, and you don't take somebody else's.
That's actually quite a good idea.
And Bill's asking if I tried Chirp to program it. No, I haven't used Chirp on it, Bill. I've got Chirp. I just haven't hooked it up the FT3 to try that yet.
There must be some more ham radio stuff.
Yeah, it's ham stuff. Sorry, we got off subject.
Oh no, you're good. I'm like Jessica Simpson, man. When she's talking about 1080p, I totally don't know what it is. I just want one.
Let's see, Comedy Corner. What you got for us?
What do I? Oh, I got a good one for us tonight. And I'm sorry, Chad sent me this one. This is one of his. So before I ever say it, ladies that are listening,
Caveat.
Chad, this is for you. So a son says, "Dad," and Dad said, "Yes, son." Son says, "There's a monster under my bed." Dad says, "Well, enjoy it while you can, son, because when you get married, the monster sleeps in the bed with you."
And when they get close to 50, they start snoring really loud.
And then you let them borrow your CPAP.
I tried this. Oh, it's getting personal. Stop.
That's too funny. I thought that was good, but I want to put the caveat in there that Chad sent me that, honey, and I didn't come up with it on my own.
That's not what I heard.
You heard wrong.
I think Doug found that one on his own or made it up. Get him, Wendy.
I know, right?
I hear the fear in your voice.
Yeah.
All right. Our Bible verse is going to be Bible verses tonight. I'm into chapter 2 of the book we talked about last week. What was the book we talked about last week? 40 Things to teach your children before you die. In chapter 2, it says, here, we were created by God, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, the world's telling us that we're just made out of matter and energy, and we don't really matter, and we all know that's false. And I'm trying to multitask on one computer tonight because my Apple is down. All right, and I'm not going into the reason for that. Uh, and that we're just
I know.
evolved from we're just evolved from the animals, uh, and uh, and that let's see what else to say here. Yeah, but God created the heaven and the earth, and He created the first human Adam on the sixth day of the creation week. And God created you in His very own image, and you're totally distinct from any other person that ever inhabited the earth. So our first verse we're going to be reading from here is Genesis 1:21. And I'm looking at my book because my computer isn't working, and I'm not going to say why. Uh, so God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. He created them. That's Genesis 1:27. And He also knew you before anyone would ever see you. And that comes from Jeremiah 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were ever born, I set you apart. So don't ever doubt that God is not doesn't have a reason for you. He's created you with a purpose, and that purpose is to worship Him and is to serve Him and to be His image bearer here on the earth. And Psalms 139, verse 14, we read, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well." Psalms 139:14. So, in the modern culture, they're denying Christ. They're denying God. They're saying, "Do whatever you want to do." There's no there's no one to judge you. But we know that God created us for a purpose, and He gave us certain skills and talents. And if we uh, do not use those, then as He did to the fig tree on the road to Jerusalem, He will cause you to wither and you'll produce no fruit, right? Or as He says that the vines must be trimmed, and that He's going to cut the non-producing vines and throw them in the fire. We're created for a purpose, and you better take it serious that God has a reason for you to be here. He knows you, He created you for that reason, and we have a choice. We have a choice to follow Him and be obedient and be an image bearer of God in this world, this dark world, or we can choose to go our own way and end up in the fire. That's just the simple, basic truth of it. But don't ever doubt that you were here, that you're here and have no purpose. You have a purpose. The Bible is replete with it. I mean, just tonight we heard Brad give his testimony about, you know, what our purpose is. What his purpose is, and he's sharing the gospel through hunting and fishing and those kind of things. You might be someone that's talented at singing. You might be someone that's talented on the internet that can fix our webpage. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you have talent that God has given you talent for or has given you a purpose for. And so you need to make sure that you're being obedient to God, you're following Him, and you're allowing Him to use you uh, as His image bearer here on the earth. And so that was just a quick little chapter. I'm really enjoying this book. It's simple, it's straightforward. It doesn't get too deep in the woods that you have to sit back and scratch your ears about it. But it's simple truths that you need to be teaching yourself and that you need to be teaching your family and your children. And my light just got knocked sideways. So Buddy was in here earlier and he had his cone on. He had Buddy's my big mix of a mastiff and a boxer. He weighs about 135 pounds.
Mm.
He had a tumor on his leg last week, and we had it cut off, and he's had stitches, and they started itching, so he started wanting to chew at them, and so we had one of these big cones. We had to go. I had to go to Elizabethtown and check 4 or 5 places to find one big enough to go around his head, and he uses it like a bulldozer blade. When he goes through the house, he'll push chairs out of the way. He'll knock stuff off. He came in here a while ago and just destroyed the place, knocked everything over. Then he's got a tail about 4 feet long. He swings around, and what he doesn't take out with the bulldozer blade, the front he knocks out with that tail. It's about a 20-pound tail. It's about that big around. You've never met Buddy, have you?
I've never
He's a
seen him.
brute. Yeah, he's a bruiser, but he's coming through it okay. I took his stitches. The vet took his stitches out today, and he still got a little bit of a wound there. And then I caught him again digging at it when we got back from the vet. He'd found another stitch. Apparently, it was deeper in there that the vet didn't take out. So I had to take my Leatherman and go in there and cut it out, pull it out. It was a so I had to put his comb back on him because he got to licking at it.
Hmm.
Doctored him back up, put him back in the cage so he won't be rubbing bloody stuff all over the house. I don't know what it's about dogs. I'll do it. So, well, that was not really anything important. Let's see. So we've already had our main topic.
We did.
And how far into the show are we? We have anybody out there still listening? Yeah, we got
Oh
several
yeah.
people still out there listening. Good deal. Gustavo says depends on how it looks around. I already went through Katrina, and so not ready to do that again. Yeah, that path looks pretty bad. We're talking about that Gustavo's down in Florida. That hurricane path looks like it's going to hit the whole state from one end to the other. Did you see
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, they just don't know where it's going to come across it.
Yeah, it's like a beeline. Of course, if it's anything else like they've been predicting this year, it'll probably be an hour and a half rainstorm. And by the time it gets here,
Yeah. Hopefully it will be. Hopefully it won't be more than that.
yeah. Yeah, you better take some rain gear. It won't probably get that far north this weekend, though, will it?
Nah, it won't
What,
be.
Monday? How far are you from the Florida? You're only like 2 hours from Florida, though, aren't you?
Well, what down where it's going to come across? Well, they say Jacksonville to Orlando, so that's going to be that's almost the whole state of Florida.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's about the whole place.
But I'm about 3 hours from. I'm 3 hours from Jacksonville, and I'm probably a little over 2 hours from the range. So
Okay.
going further, so that'll put me closer to.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be up close to North Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not what 10 miles from North Carolina, Red Hill Range.
yeah, South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
Yeah, it's almost to what Anderson, South Carolina.
Pretty close. I came down through North Carolina and then come back into Georgia on the backside through. I guess it's North Carolina, South Carolina, back in. I go up through the Smokies and come down instead of going through Atlanta.
I don't blame you there.
It's a lot prettier drive. Takes a little longer, but I don't have to go through Atlanta
No.
because Atlanta is hell. I don't care if you live there or not.
Yeah, I'm not. Luckily, I don't have to go that way either. I take the back roads and go up, and cut through.
Let's see. All right, where's my notes? So I'm trying. I got 6 programs running, and I'm switching back and forth here, so I don't know what's going on. So if you want to know more about 3030 Ministries, we got Brad's email and his website in here, and then you can find him on Facebook. And he said the big three. I guess that's Twitter, Facebook, and
Instagram.
Instagram. So you guys can check out Brad's links in here. There are show notes, so you can find them after the show. How can you help out our show? Well, we still got patches and stickers. I ordered some new ones. I don't know why I'm keep getting notices when I turned all that off. We would help. We would like if you bought some patches and stickers. I have not ordered any shirts yet. I did get some pricing, and I'm waiting for some money to come in before I hawk up a $500 or $600 order for shirts. So that's where that's at. Devore, if you guys would like to use our link, we get a little bit of kickback from them. DVOR's Clearinghouse for Optics Planet. They've got all kinds of cool stuff. Hoplite Armor, if you'd like to buy some armor, we are a Hoplite Armor affiliate. Our Lama Bishop up there in Montana will get you set up. So use our link, please, and they'll send us some love. Zija, man, you guys have been hitting Zija. I appreciate it. I'm going to put a Zija sample in our store. So if you go to our it's on our it's on our website now because the website's down, but it's on our Facebook page. You go to Facebook or you go to where's my link to that? But you go to our store and I'm gonna put Zija samples in there because it's costing me an arm and leg. I've just shipped out pretty much everything I had in stock for everybody that's requesting samples of Zija, and it's starting to cut into my money. We've had several, probably 5 or 6 of you guys have signed up since Doug started his using Zija. So we've got several people that are sending me messages about how much weight they've lost, and how much better they feel, and how they're out of pain. They're not hurting stiffness and aches and pains. If you want to know more about Zija, just go to guideandguns.myzija. It's myzija.com. Uh, that's how you can find out more about it. You can sign up there as a customer. You can sign up there as a business if you want to sign up, learn how to do the business. It's it's a good second income if you got the time, and we use it to help support our show. So if you go buy Zija, please buy it through us so we'll get some support for the show.
Mm-hmm.
You got the next couple?
Hey, Crossbreed holsters. I'm going to be wearing mine this weekend. I can't wait. Like I said, Troy and I mostly carrying the Super Tuck Deluxe. I love it, but this weekend I will be using the drop slide, which you guys heard me talk about the drop slide, but that's it. It fits actually on your belt, rides on the outside instead of inside the waistband. And I just thought it would probably be easier doing the class this weekend to have it out. So, because it's probably gonna be hot, and I really don't want to get my horsehide backer on my other one all disgusting from sweating on it all weekend. But hey, most comfortable holsters you're going to put on, I promise you. If you haven't never tried one, go get you one. I actually got one of my guys at work actually bought one the other day. He got a Super Tuck Deluxe as well, and he's carried it. And I saw him. He came down and visited yesterday, and he had it on, and I was like, hey, so how do you like your holster? He said, man, that's the best holster I've ever had on. I was like, well, you need to go on God and Guns or something and drop us a line, or go out to Crossbreed and tell them, you heard about it through us, you bought one, and you love it. So if you got one, let them know you heard it through us. So if you need a holster, go out and check them out. It's at crossbreedholsters.com. And if you find something you like, which I know you will, use our promo code GNG and get a 10% discount on Troy and I just for listening to the show. Next is Axelson Tactical. I just showed you my Axelson Tactical a little while ago that I'm taking up to the training class. I use it for pig hunting and shooting and plinking, and it's an awesome rifle. So I'm going to actually get to run it this weekend during the training with Jesse and the guys from Bulwarks, and put it through a few paces. And I have no problem thinking it's going to just function as it should. It's a high precision rifle, high quality. It's a nice gun. They got rifles, pistols. They make custom knives. They got a gun case that actually folds up into a backpack. And then you can actually drop it out, unfold it on one of their carriers, and you can make a shooter's mat out of it. So they got all kind of stuff out there. You can also buy guns to them. They got an online store now that you can go check them out. You can get pretty much any kind of gun you want, from long guns to handguns, and have it shipped to your FFL wherever you're at. And they got good prices on stuff. A lot of times they have better deals than what we get using our promo code. If you use our promo code and on something that doesn't have a special on it, you get 10% discount by just using the promo code God and Guns. Excuse me. Use the promo code God and Guns, get 10% discount on us. Sometimes they, like here recently, they were running 25% off on pretty much everything in their store and all their custom rifles, which are awesome. So go check them out. It's axelsonusa.com, and a bunch of good folks. Go check them out.
Good deal. Antares Alliance is we're a Antares Alliance life member, and those guys and all those guys, gals. There's all both sexes over there. So check them out, AntaresAlliance.com. You can see all the different companies that are participating, build each other up, support each other, and support charities that help our veterans and first responders and those that have been hurt in war, their families. There's all kinds of different charities help out. Wheelchairs for Warriors. There's just a multitude of different charities that are sponsored over there. We also I've been in contact with Sal Charity. You remember Ron Bellin was
Mm-hmm.
big into Sal Charity, and they're going to come on the show. One of the representatives coming on the show here probably next month or so. So they want to come on and tell us about new activities going on. Of course, they take special wounded warriors out and get them hunts and fishing trips and things like that. Sort of like what Brad's group does, but for our veterans that have been disabled. And we'll have them on again soon too. They're part of that group.
I
All right.
tell you, it's talking about Ron. I was just thinking about him the other night. We I'm so used to going on and watching him when he does his Facebook Live stuff, for Reaper
Mhm.
Outdoors and stuff, and it's just every once in a while I'm flipping through something and I'll see something about Ron stuff, and um, he was a good dude, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like last week, something popped up. And it was one of his videos where he was playing the guitar.
Yeah,
So
I think that's what I was looking at too.
yeah, it was
We
like
must have saw the same one.
I don't know if Stephanie, his daughter, is posting some videos or something. Maybe he had done. I don't. But it came up my feed of him playing the guitar. He was just a talented guy, and just a really great guy all the way around.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Felt like a brick outhouse.
Yep. I miss hanging out with him. All right. So you got armed citizen for us?
I do got an armed citizen this week. New Hampshire dad pulls a gun on an intruder until police arrive. This is by Catherine Underwood and Mike Piscaro. 3 days after a New Hampshire homeowner opened fire on a stranger who had broken into his home, a similar situation unfolded just a few miles away from the same city. In the same city, in broad daylight Wednesday afternoon, a man held an attempted burglar at gunpoint while his two kids witnessed the entire ordeal. The homeowner said he was pulling into his driveway on May Street, his young children in the car, when he saw a stranger standing on his porch. I didn't know who he was, didn't know what his intentions were, and I didn't know why he was there, said David Cameron. Once Cameron realized the man was trying to break into his home and steal his kid's bike, he pulled his gun. He carries all the time, and while he's never before had to use it for protection, he says this is exactly why he has it, because you never know who is going to do you harm, Cameron said. I was at the zoo yesterday with my children. It was a great day. We had fun, and then there was a situation with 2-year-old Lincoln and 5-year-old Chase uh, sitting feet sitting feet away in the car. Their dad held the attempted burglar at gunpoint. The the guy like put up his hands and walked backwards, Chase explained. Rochester police said 37-year-old Nicholas Clausen surrendered and was waiting for officers when they arrived at Cameron's home. Once Cameron realized that the man was trying to break into his home and steal his kids' bikes, he pulled his gun. He carries all the time, and while he's never before had to use it for protection, he says it is exactly why he has it. Um, let's see, I don't know why that copied part in there. Um, This guy put up his hands and walked backwards. Chase explained. That article got messed up somewhere. But anyway, police came and arrested him, and he went to jail.
A good deal. That's the way it should be.
Good guy with a gun takes down a bad guy.
That's the way it always ends.
Hey, but you notice I read one today where he didn't get shot.
He did not get shot.
He didn't get shot. He didn't have to shoot him.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think they got their article because I was listening to the actual soundbite from the news station that covered that, and he said his little son Chase said, "Daddy, are you going to shoot him?" And he's like, "Nope, I didn't have to shoot him, and so we're better off that way."
Yep. That would be rough on that little kid to see somebody get shot in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Any last questions before we wrap this show up tonight? Appreciate all you guys coming out and being on the show and participating in the show in the chat. Don't see any questions. You see any questions, Doug?
I guess Andrew dropped off. It must have been his bedtime.
Yeah, maybe. That's pretty early. He's usually on the 9 o'clock show. It's not. It's not even. It's just 9:20. We're usually on at 9.
I don't know. I don't know if he's down in Guatemala right now or if he's about there back home.
I don't know if they're on furlough or if they're down there.
I know they were home here recently when Philip went to the Naval Academy. They were escorting him up there. So
I think they were both. They went there for his graduation, didn't they?
Yep.
Yep. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Doug, you got anything else?
I'm good, man. I just hope shoot straight this weekend. We're looking forward to it.
Take lots of pictures and videos and stuff. Post them up on the site so we can see y'all working down there.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna shoot some video and stuff, and maybe do a little video time. Get Jesse or Eric or somebody on with us, and we're gonna have fun with it. I may not shoot straight, but I'm gonna have fun wherever I'm at.
Yep. It'll be a good time. Just hydrate well, and you'll get the hang of it. But I don't know if you're gonna get that coin, man. I just don't know.
Hey, Jesse told me today that they've only gave out 3 coins since they started, and you got one of them. I said, well, I'm going to be the 4th.
A good deal. Yeah, Eric's eyes got pretty big about halfway through. He said, "You're on track. You're on track." I said, "Shut up, man. You gonna mess me up."
Don't mess me up, man.
I'm like, man, don't do that to me. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Send your feedback to Troy at GuidingGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GuidingGunsPodcast.com.
Please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GuidingGunsPodcast. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube. You guys know where to find that. Follow us on Twitter at Guiding Guns Pod. You can search for us on Instagram under Guiding Guns Podcast. I think it's all out. One thing. Search for us on MeWe. That's sort of our backup site should we disappear, which is highly likely as we get closer to the 2020 election.
Yeah.
So we've been several of our friends have been demonetized after we were from Patreon. And so we got to look at that subscribe star, and a lot of you guys have offered to send checks and stuff, and I appreciate that. We'll try to get things straightened out and get things going. We really appreciate all the support, and we'll get it figured out one way or the other. Our website's still wonky, GuidingGunsPodcast.com.
I was actually logged into that trying to see if I could get it straightened out, and it is bad jacked up.
I know. I tried to get in there. I couldn't even get into it. It's just so jacked up. So I guess we need to get a new program running on a new platform.
Mm-hmm.
So when you make a decision on which one would be good, and I'll set it up on my end and let you run it.
All right.
You most smart on that kind of stuff. Until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bibles closer.
Good night, guys, gals. That's the only two.
Good night, everybody.
Guys and gals.
Gustavo, stay safe, buddy.
Yep. And if it gets too bad, Georgia's not too far away. Doug has got a barn out there that you can come up there and hang out.
Shoot, I might even live stay in the house. Come on.
If it's enough room, yeah. He's got all kinds of properties up there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I am trying to get out of here, and I'm not doing it right. Let's see. Good night. Any other last questions? Bill, good night, Bill. Good night, Gustavo.
Good night, everybody. Y'all have a good night.